my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and welcome to another Sunday reset. Please disregard my voice. Today is Friday. It's actually the day after 4th of July. It's July 5th when I'm filming this video. And we had a good time last night. I hope you guys had a beautiful Independence Day if you celebrate. And it was beautiful for us. We had family over and I made a big, beautiful barbecue dinner, beautiful tablescape. I wish I had taken pictures. And then we went outside and just did like family-friendly fireworks in the driveway. It was a lot of fun, sparklers, that kind of thing. And then ended the night with some friends around the fire. So it was a beautiful holiday. And our first holiday without my beloved father-in-law. So it was a tough night for everybody, but we wanted to just honor him and we did. I want to thank every single one of you who have reached out with condolences and kind words. My family sincerely appreciates it right now, and I can't thank you enough for all of that. So with all of that said, I am ready to take down my patriotic decor. If my camera moves, it's because my cat is literally rubbing her body against my tripod, because as she's doing right this second. Luna, what are you doing? I know, I started talking to the camera. She can't help herself, but I'm ready to take down the 4th of July decor. I'm ready to decorate for the second half of summer. I actually picked up some new items at HomeGoods, something different that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you. So you'll have to stay tuned. We're not decorating in today's video. That's going to be in a future video, so stay tuned for that. We're just going to be doing some overall cleaning. Danny did a ton of work already this morning. He was up before everybody, enjoyed a quiet house, cleaned the table, got, 80% of the dishes done, cleaned the kitchen. It was just, I came out of the bedroom this morning and was just like, wow, thank you for doing that for us. Like, that's amazing. So we're just going to finish up the dishes, get the kitchen cleaned up, and then we're going to focus on getting all of the patriotic decor taken down, put away, and we're going to clean all the surfaces, dust, all that stuff while everything is down and while things are cleared off. So this is going to work out in our favor because we've got plenty of, it'll be cleaned off, so we'll be able to do that. I'm going to pop on some lights because it's cloudy and overcast today, so it's dark in here. I'm noticing on the camera while I'm filming. So I'm going to pop on some lights for us so we can get some better lightage. And without any further ado, again, thank you all for your super kind words and your condolences. Let's get into cleaning. I need some therapeutic cleaning today, so I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started today in the kitchen with my domino chore. If you guys have been around the cleaning part of YouTube for a while, you probably have seen This Crazy Life, Amanda. She is amazing and extremely motivational. She's one of the original channels that I started watching so many years ago, and she always talks about a domino chore. That's the chore you do first that gets you going and moves you in the right direction. Once that's done, you feel motivated to finish the rest. Everything else is downhill. And that is definitely my kitchen. When I have a lot to get done, I don't always start here. Sometimes I'll start in the front of the house, work my way to the back, but today I just wanted to finish up cleaning from the remnants of having family over the night before. It was a beautiful holiday, even though we were sad in our hearts missing someone very near and dear to us. We tried to just focus on being together and sharing memories of him, and it was a beautiful evening. So just going to go ahead and clean up the kitchen now. We're going to start off by getting all of these dishes into the dishwasher, get the dishwasher running. We'll wash all the pots and pans, and we'll move on to the next thing. As I mentioned, Danny was so amazing to get up early this day and get a lot of the cleaning already done. He had cleaned off the entire table, put away all of our items from our tablescape. He had done a huge amount of dishes, cleaned off the counters, and this was what was left. So I was so very thrilled that he was able to do that, and he allowed me to sleep in. I think I've mentioned here on my channel before that cleaning is incredibly therapeutic. You have an end, you have something beautiful to look at when it's done. It just gives you a beautiful sense of satisfaction, and for me, it is quite the dopamine rush. So I think he enjoyed a little bit of that therapy that morning as well. There's something about just taking care of a home that you love that just fills your soul. So thank you, Danny, for doing so much work before I even came out this morning. It really made the job so much easier. This is the leftover of the treats from the day before, so I'm just going to go ahead and combine these together. I love this wooden cake stand here. It's actually from Target. If I can find it for you, I'll link it for you down below. It's my favorite cake stand. It lives on my counter. I also have this really pretty one here from IKEA that has this beautiful scalloped edge. I am such a sucker for cake stands, for any kind of bakery-like item in my kitchen. I just feel like it brings such a cozy touch, and I try to have some kind of baked good on display at all times. of my least favorite items to clean in the kitchen is my stove, but it needs to happen. So I'm grabbing this little cover that I have here. It does help to make the job go a little bit faster. Just take it out, put it in the sink. You can rinse it off in there, which does really help. And I also sprayed some of the Method stove cleaner and let that sit. It does say to let it sit for at least 3 minutes or so. And it does soften up any food that's been sitting there, and it makes it really easy just to wipe it off. So this piece here is actually from Amazon. I would like a better one, a silicone one that really does cover the entire stovetop. But like I said, this is just easy. It will collect a lot of the mess. If I did this every day, it would just make cleaning the stove so much easier. But 9 times out of 10, my children are the ones cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, and I should teach them just to take this out every day and wipe it off. But they're just so eager to get the job done. I doubt they would do it, but if I told them that that was part of the cleaning the kitchen, they probably would. I think it would just make the stove so much easier to clean because this is such a tedious job. I do not enjoy this part, but it does really make a big difference. So I'm going in with a magic eraser here just to really scrub the stove and make sure that it's nice and clean. As you can see, the cleaner that I'm using does foam and it does clean really, really well. So just going to wipe this down. We'll go back in with some paper towels to make sure we take all of the suds off, and I'm always happy when this job is done. I really should do it more often. To clean the stainless steel parts of the stove, I'm just going to use Wyman stainless steel cleaner. I sprayed it right onto the rag for this part up here. I do that because I don't always do it, but I do that a lot of the times because I don't want to get the cleaner onto my backsplash. My backsplash does not have any kind of guard back there. It's been fine, but I just don't want to get the spray on it because I can't get it off. And brick is very porous, and so I try very hard not to put stuff on it. If I do get something on it, I've been asked before how I clean it. I'll just use a little bit of OxyClean and water and a small toothbrush and just scrub it off, and everything comes off perfectly fine. I just try really hard. If anything gets up there, I just wipe it off real quick, and it's usually just fine. I don't typically have to clean it very often. I'm also using that Wyman stainless steel cleaner down here where the knobs are. I took them all off, scrubbed the knobs off individually, and then put them back on. And I do use the Wyman stainless steel cleaner on the glass part of the stove as well. It does a perfectly great job of getting that nice and clean. Our new refrigerator is working out perfectly. It's exactly the same as the one we had before. The only difference is this one also makes craft ice, which is pretty fun, although I feel like I haven't quite figured out how to turn that part off. So I follow the directions. I think I'm doing it right, but it still seems to be making the craft ice, which is fine. It just takes 3 times as long to make those big giant ice balls than it would if it was just regular ice cubes. So still learning, but it is so nice to have a working fridge and freezer again. I didn't realize how bad it was until we replaced it. The last thing we're going to do now is just go around and clean off the countertops, and the kitchen is looking put back together and beautiful. Once I was done with that, I went ahead and put our bar stools here up on the island and turned on our robot narwhal vacuum and mop. I love this thing. I've talked about it so many times. It's going to go ahead and vacuum and mop my entire house, and it does such an incredible job, especially a job I really don't like doing. We're going to go ahead and move over to the dining room now. I'm going to start off by putting away all of my planners and my computer. I was doing a ton of computer work earlier this day. Probably sat at this spot for about 3.5 to 4 hours. And I'm just going to go ahead and mark off what I've completed. I use a little purse organizer there. It's like a little felt purse organizer to hold my planners, my planner stickers, my pen, my highlighters. I love this whole setup. It is perfect. I'll go ahead and link everything I can for you down below. If you're a planner person like me, it's nice just to have that to move around very easily and to keep everything together. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything away. We'll get the table wiped off. I'm not going to do much with the table right now. I'm trying to decide what I want to do in regards to a runner. I'm going to be doing a decorate with me for the second half of summer, and we're going to go with a little bit of a coastal vibe, kind of cottage coastal, lots of blues and whites. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up later this week. And now we're going to go ahead and start to put away all of our patriotic decor. I am sad to see it go, although, at the end of every season, it's so nice to put away the decor and clean and start fresh. That's always nice. So I am sad to see it go, but I'm looking forward to a fresh start in a new space. When I am undecorating, I always just walk around my house and gather all of the items and keep them on my dining room table. And then I will grab the clear bin from my basement and put away all of the items. And usually one of my kiddos will help me by taking those things down to the basement. So just kind of laying everything out, and I'll try to go through the bin before I put the items away, get rid of anything that I didn't use or that's not really my style anymore before putting away all of the other items. Typically, I've got some new ones. So I do try very hard to work my way through those so I'm not keeping everything, knowing I don't use everything, but I do the best I can. For the actual 4th of July, I had put up all of this extra bunting throughout my house. So normally I would have this outside, but I did put majority of it inside the house here in my family room, in all of the windows in my dining room, as well as in the entryway. It just added a really fun extra touch for the 4th of July, and I really enjoyed having all of that out. The kitchen and the coffee bar definitely had the most patriotic decor in one area. So I did just kind of put things back a little bit so that I could kind of redecorate in this area just as I went, because it looked very, very empty and I didn't want to leave it for too long. So I'm just grabbing all of my items. I loved how all of the patriotic decor turned out this season. It was very cozy, very vintage. I really, really enjoyed it. So hoping to do something very, very similar next year. I am getting really excited about decorating for the fall. I know it's July. I know we've got plenty of time, and I'm absolutely not rushing anything. I'm living for this warm weather and all of the greenery. My garden looks gorgeous, but I am getting excited. That's probably one of the best parts about the year, is just this second half of the year. July through to December, just so many exciting things coming up, as well as the beautiful change in the season. I am sure, just like many of you, I am obsessed with the fall. Living here in New England, there is nothing better than the fall, and I'm really excited for that. Are you guys getting excited for fall content? We've still got plenty more summer, so I'm not in any rush, but I am just getting really excited about it. Once I got the coffee bar situated, it was time to go through the bin here. Now, I had put a lot of decor that I already had out in this bin, things that I replaced with patriotic decor, I put in this bin, and then I'm taking all of those out so that I can redecorate with those items. And then I'm going to remove things that I don't use or don't want anymore. And then we're going to pack away all of these other items that we have. I really did invest in some new decor this year, and I'm really, really happy with everything that I picked. I love all of it. So definitely excited to use it again next year. I also just wanted to mention that I am really getting excited. Danny has agreed to help me paint the family room, the dining room, the entryway. We're going to get rid of the pale oak color that we have, and we're just going to do white. I am so excited to have fresh paint and a fresh color, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up here very soon. As I was packing all of this away, I remembered that I did have decor out on the front porch, so I went out and grabbed all of that and got that put away as well. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these things over by my door to the basement, and my husband will take that down for me later. As I already mentioned, we're not going to do the redecorating in today's video. That will be coming up, but I was really getting excited for this second part of the summer. after I got everything packed up and put away, I did just grab my vacuum and come back over the rug. I had the robot vacuum going and it was doing a perfectly fine job. I just wanted to get in here with some deeper vacuuming and make sure that I got up any dust or anything that came off of the decor as I was putting it all away. And that, my friends, is going to bring us to the end of this week's Sunday Reset. I hope that this video gave you some motivation to check some things off of your to-do list. Are you putting away your patriotic decor, or does yours stay up for the rest of the summer? I considered leaving it up, but I was ready for a change. Love to change things up after a little while. So make sure you're subscribed. Come back for more, my friends. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. And until the next one, take care of yourself. See you soon.